Hey, what's going on, my Orange Troopers? My name is Orange Bucket Plate / VA, and so, you're probably all wondering why in the name of God is a video like this going up on my channel. Well, the easy answer is that I've watched a million videos titled this exact same thing, and they cover like 4 or 5 of Goku's transformations, and they're like, okay, that's all of them, and that is nowhere near true. This video is here to clarify that there are way more than what people tell you they are. And believe me, the freaking research for this episode took like 4 weeks. I mean, I went ham on this, baby. Not to mention the Photoshop visuals you guys are looking at right now, which I also did by myself because my editor's working on the first episode of the frickety-frackin' podcast. Shout out to Max. I appreciate you, buddy. But anyway, so yeah, this video is gonna be me going over all these transformations because, again, there are a ton! And Goku uses, like 3 of them in the anime right now? He uses Super Saiyan. Every now and then we'll see Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan 3's popped back up a few times. Then God came back for a little bit. Then, of course, he's got Blue, and then he uses Kaio-ken on top of that, and then Ultra Instinct sometimes. So yeah, that's like 6 transformations, and the only ones that we get to see regularly are Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue. So, like, what the heck? There are other transformations than just the ones he uses. Just because he used it one time doesn't mean that it didn't happen. Gotta give some love to my boy False Super Saiyan and my boy Super Kaio-ken. Anyway, so this video is going to be me going over every single transformation from every official source that I could find. Sorry, no fan stuff, at least not yet. I may make a video on fan transformations later. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this once. Alright, just to get it out of the way now. This is in no particular order, so don't freak out on me because I don't know my power scaling or my power levels. I'm not saying any of these are stronger or more practical than each other. I'm just saying that, you know, they exist and giving you a brief summary of what they are. I'm not telling you how strong they are. That's for you guys to scale and figure out yourself, and I might make a video scaling these later. But for now, we're just talking about the fact that they exist, okay? So chill, slow your roll. You can stop disliking and unsubscribing. Chill! Also, for any of you who'd like to read these are the rules that I went by for this episode, although they were given to me by someone, you know, that's very deep into the transformation scaling community. I will not reveal my source because he wanted to remain unnamed, but these are the basic rules that most YouTube channels keep in common for scaling transformations and telling the difference between transformations and techniques and whatnot. But I'm going to omit the 3rd rule because this is Dragon Ball, and sometimes, you know, character story arc is shown through small bursts of power, and I feel like it would be unfair to use that 3rd rule, so I'm throwing it out, but the rest are still in use. So rule number 3 is omitted, but the rest are fair game. So, yeah, sorry. And on a little bit of a separate tirade, if I see any of that, Orange! Super Saiyan 4 isn't canon? Why is it on this list? Dislike! Unsubscribe! I'm gonna be mad, okay? Because, again, to clarify, this is all official transformations from movies, video games, and all versions of the anime, including GT. And I'm not gonna include Dragon Ball Evolutions because the only transformation in there was Great Ape. And it, you know, it's still in the original Dragon Ball, so there's not any need for that mess, garbage, piece of human, I wish it didn't exist. I can't think of a good enough insult because I feel like I'd be insulting these insults, these poor innocent insults that I use on bad people. So I'm putting a disclaimer here now. You've been warned. Some of this stuff isn't canon, although technically everything's canon because Toriyama's confusing. But whatever. Enjoy. Sit down and relax. So, first up, of course, we got Goku and his Kaio-ken, and also every version of Goku on this list is going to be shown next to a picture of base form Goku, so you can tell the difference just color scheme-wise to the original. Also, the changes in design and hair, and for some of them, I put in size differences as well, because I felt that that was important. Because, you know, some of these make him bigger or smaller. So, he's there, scaled to the best of my ability. And, you know, Kaio-ken, all of these were used in the Saiyan Saga. No big deal. Don't really have to go into a lot of detail here. But yeah, it's the Kaio-ken. Technically a technique, but I'm going to call it a transformation. And, of course, just like every other transformation in Dragon Ball, it can be ascended further beyond. But, you know, so Goku here has Kaio-ken times 4. Kaio-ken times 10, and Kaio-ken times 20. 10 and 20, I believe, were in the... I believe times 10 was against Captain Ginyu, times 20 was against Final Form Frieza, and times 4 was the final push that defeated Scott or Vegeta. I'm pretty certain in their first fight. And the absolute highest multiplier of Kaio-ken we ever see used is times 100 in the Lord Slug movie. This is officially stated to be Kaio-ken times 100, and his aura grows to the size of giant Namekian Piccolo, which I thought was a really cool little detail. Of course, after this point, he had also fused with Piccolo through Namekian fusion, but because it wasn't like a Metamorian fusion or anything, I didn't want to count it. So, you know, this is Goku Kaio-ken times 100 with some of Piccolo's energy. Of course, next we have good old Super Kaio-ken Goku, which debuted in the Otherworld Tournament arc in the original Dragon Ball Z in his fight with Pikkon, which was always one of my favorite scenes as a kid. I loved how the Super Saiyan form turned red and everything. That was so cool to me. And, of course, like every other Super Saiyan transformation, Super Kaio-ken can be ascended further beyond. Well, at least in, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So in Xenoverse 2, you can customize your Goku partner, and you can give him the Super Saiyan transformations 1 through 3, and you can also give him the ultimate attack of Kaio-ken times 20 Kamehameha, as well as the Kaio-ken Rush super attack. So you are able to use Super Saiyan 2 and 3, albeit in small bursts, with Kaio-ken, which I thought was absolutely awesome. And of course, there's always a black sheep of the group, so here we have False Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Essence. False Super Saiyan first debuted in the Lord Slug movie, alongside the incredible Kaio-ken times 100 Goku. Which is crazy, because when you think about it, 100 times base is also the multiplier for Super Saiyan 2, so Goku could go Kaio-ken times 100 in his base form, and, well, I mean, geez, he really could have beaten Cell. No, I'm kidding, I know that's not canon, but in all seriousness, like, we've got False Super Saiyan Goku, and Super Saiyan Essence Goku, I believe, also appears in the World Tournament Arc Saga when he's facing off against the Ginyu Force for the second time just before Pikkon shows up, so that's interesting. Next up, we have our beloved buff Broly-esque boys. First, Super Saiyan, which is, Goku's first Super Saiyan transformation. It was during the Frieza saga and his fight with Frieza, obviously. And then we've got, Ascended Super Saiyan Goku, which happened in the Time Chamber with Gohan during the Cell saga, as well as Ultra Goku, which is, the next grade of Super Saiyan Goku, which also appeared in that same arc. When Goku and Gohan were training in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber together, Goku transformed into it just to explain to Gohan how it worked and why he was trying to master Super Saiyan as opposed to just use the Ascended form, and why it was more beneficial for them to learn the Mastered Super Saiyan form opposed to the Ascended Super Saiyan form, which, to this day, I think that's one of the coolest moments ever, just because it shows how smart Goku really is. Speaking of how smart Goku really is, in a last desperate, feeble attempt to stop the almighty Broly Bojack-esque Android 13 buff monster boy with Vegeta Widow's Peak, he absorbed a Spirit Bomb. That was his genius plan. And it gave him this weird Super Saiyan Spirit Bomb absorbed form that kind of looked like Super Saiyan Rage, and I just thought it was cool. That's really about it. There's not a lot about this form. Although I do know that from the Budokai games, when I played them as a kid, that he can do this with Super Saiyan 2, 3, and 4, because that was his ultimate attack. He absorbed a Spirit Bomb, so he's got a Spirit Bomb absorbed form for each of these transformations, although I could not find any sources of him doing it in any other forms, just these. So I thought that was really cool. Speaking of really cool Super Saiyans, let's talk about the 3 most iconic in the series. So first up is Grade 4 Super Saiyan, also known as Mastered Super Saiyan. In this form, it gives the same boost as Super Saiyan, but no stamina drain whatsoever. He can eat, sleep, breathe in this form, and it won't affect him at all. It just increases his power without any of the negative effects. Super Saiyan 2 is the Mastered Ascended Super Saiyan form, when the Ascended Super Saiyan form is mastered and perfected and you're able to increase it without losing any speed. And Super Saiyan 3 is just taking that and ascending it in a similar fashion, also combining, the raw power of a great ape with the Super Saiyan 2 form, but that's just a weird way of explaining it that they used in the original, so I'm not really going to go into what that means. It's just what they said. But yeah, of course, I love these 3 transformations. The first of them was achieved in the Cell Saga after Goku and Gohan had left the time chamber. The second was achieved in the Buu Saga when Goku was fighting against Majin Vegeta. And the third, Super Saiyan 3, was achieved in Otherworld while Goku was training, but first seen by us when he was fighting Buu. Speaking of Majin, in Shin Budokai Another Road, Babidi somehow manages to take control of future Goku and Trunks' timeline and turn him into a Majin. This is never explained, nor is it a big main part of the story. Trunks immediately knocks him back out, and it's never brought back up again. I don't even know why it happened. It's kind of weird and lazy, but it happened. So, Majin Goku's on the list. Ha ha ha, nobody wanted this. But moving on. We have Goku's Great Ape transformations, the Ozaru form seen in Dragon Ball, the original series, and the Golden Great Ape form seen when Goku was fighting Baby Vegeta in the Dragon Ball GT anime. So, yeah, it was the Baby Vegeta arc, the Baby Vegeta saga, I guess I should say. And that was really cool because it was like, oh, he's combined Great Ape with Super Saiyan. It's unstoppable. And I thought that was awesome. So, on this page, I actually messed up. It says Baby Vegeta Saga on Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Please ignore that. No. This is Super Saiyan 4. This is what happens when a Saiyan, masters the Golden Great Ape transformations and just ascends it with Super Saiyan. Kind of masters it. This is the mastered form of that. So, Super Saiyan 4, his first debut was against Baby Vegeta in, Dragon Ball GT, the anime. He won. He was very close, but he did win. And Ultra Super Saiyan 4 is actually, it comes in the Dark Dragon Ball saga, the Omega Shenron saga, specifically. Well, he was Sin Shenron during this fight, but Goku kind of goes through another Great Ape transformation. This strange ascension happens, and he basically just becomes like a mastered Super Saiyan 4. Like, he states that he's ascended the transformation and that he's more comfortable with it now and that he's mastered it. So this is like an ascended Super Saiyan 4 state, which he's mastered and that he's proud of, which is very clearly stated to be beyond a normal Super Saiyan 4. So everyone considers these 2 transformations to be the same, and they are not. I don't know why this happens. It's really stupid, but I looked into it, and even on Dragon Ball official Wikipedia pages, they're categorized as different. Although sometimes they aren't. It's really weird, but for now we're going to count it as 2 different ones just to be safe. Next up, we have Super Saiyan 4 Kaio-ken! So in Dragon Ball Fusions, you can unlock the maximum Kaio-ken skill and give it to Super Saiyan 4 Goku. There's not a set multiplier for this, it just says maximum Kaio-ken, although Super Saiyan Blue Goku can use it as well as base Goku, so I suppose you could just kind of say that it's Kaio-ken times 10 or times 20, but I'm just going to call it Kaio-ken for now, because there's not a specific, or at least I couldn't find in Dragon Ball Fusions itself and through different subreddits, there's no specific multiplier for this maximum Kaio-ken technique stated. So I believe I'm just going to put Kaio-ken down and just be speaking generally. I'm sure he could use the multipliers Blue Goku and any other Goku could. Next up, we've got 2 ascensions of the same form, so... the first time, the only name I could find for this was Spirit Super Saiyan, and it wasn't called that in GT, but so I just am calling it that because it's the exact same thing. So it's when you don't have enough Saiyans to perform the Super Saiyan God ritual, but other Saiyans lend you their energy. So it's Spirit Super Saiyan. So it happens in the legendary Super Saiyan Broly movie, when Goku's fighting Broly and, all the Z fighters are knocked out or they can barely move, everyone's down for the count, and everyone gives Goku their energy. And it happens again in Dragon Ball GT when everyone gets knocked out of Baby's mind control and Goku starts to lose to him. So he then, powers up and begins to, use that power against Baby, and that's ultimately how both Broly and Baby were defeated, is through that lending of energy. But speaking of Broly and how he died a horrible, painful, horrible death, let's talk about Goku's Super Saiyan Berserker form, because he has one of these. That's right, Super Saiyan Berserker, like Kale and Broly's, except his, for some reason, looks nothing like either of theirs. It's canonically Super Saiyan Berserker. This happens in the Dragon Ball Heroes promotional anime, but also has its own card and character in the Dragon Ball Heroes game. So he's an unlockable character that you can play as, and it's really interesting. Of course, in the bottom there, I put it with the original Super Saiyan Berserker design, just so you could see what it would look like if they chose that design for Goku. But I honestly, ultimately, kind of enjoy the design that they've picked. This Super Saiyan 2 looking form with wide eyes. It's more Super Saiyan Rage-like, but I like it. It's kind of cool. It's growing on me. It made me uncomfortable at first, but it's okay now. Next up is Super Saiyan God, which first appeared in Battle of Gods, of course, in his fight with Lord Beerus, which is when, a ritual between 6 Saiyans makes 1 Saiyan a god. At least I believe that's how it works. Then Super Saiyan Blue is, Goku's Super Saiyan God gone Super Saiyan form. It first appears in Revival of F, and this is a Super Saiyan God gone Super Saiyan. It's what happens when a Saiyan goes Super Saiyan while in the Super Saiyan God state. It's when you go Super Saiyan with God Ki. So, essentially, it's just the next level of Super Saiyan God, but it's also not. It's strange. It's its own thing. And eventually, we got tired of saying Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, so now we just call it Super Saiyan Blue. And, of course, eventually Goku found a way to ascend it even further, because he's Goku. And he decided, I got a new form, time to put Kaio-ken on top of it, because it's just how we do. That's just what Goku does. So, in his fight with Hit, in the Universe 6-7 tournament arc, he went both Super Saiyan Blue Kaio-ken times 1 and 10, as well as times 20 in the TOP. But of course, as we know, Goku has an ungodly lust to get stronger. So in his fight with Cumber, when fusing failed and Vegeta wasn't enough to put down the super great ape, Super Saiyan Blue Kaio-ken Goku in his times 20 state decided to up it to times 50, going even further beyond into Super Saiyan Blue Kaio-ken. 'Cause why not? Apparently Goku doesn't care about the horrible god-awful consequences on his body. Jesus Christ! Next up, we have transformations that are exclusive to the manga. So, in the manga, Goku achieves a form called Perfected Super Saiyan Blue, which is a mastered state of Super Saiyan Blue, where he can keep all of his aura on the inside of his body to give his body an extra boost in power, as well as increasing the overall durability of his body, thus evaporating the need of an aura shield to even begin with. Also, in this state, Goku is able to perform a Hakai and produce Hakai energy. And Hakai energy is, the energy a god of destruction has. Although he's never been able to do this, he's never been shown to do this in his base form, so I made it kind of one transformation, because I don't think he has the god of destruction transformation that Toppo does, but he is able to do it in his Super Saiyan Blue state, so I'm just going to leave them together for now, and if later we get more information on it, I'll update this statement. But for now, there's too little to really say either way on it. And of course, also, we have Goku Black in the manga, who is a form of Goku, and since I count Baby Vegeta as a form of Vegeta, when talking about transformations, I'm gonna count Goku Black as well. Don't get mad at me. I'm sorry. So he has Super Saiyan Rose, okay? And in his Super Saiyan Rose state, Goku Black, in the manga, it's stated that he's gone Super Saiyan Blue, but since he was already a god, he was already a divine being, it turned pink, because he was just going Super Saiyan with that divine energy, which is the same as Goku going Super Saiyan, but with God Ki, which makes Super Saiyan Blue. So it's just a pink Super Saiyan Blue. And this is later described as, it's later described more accurately as a Supreme Kai going Super Saiyan with the energy of a god, which is terrifying. However, nowhere near as terrifying as the god-awful monster that we know from the anime known as Goku Black, because in the anime, Oh boy! This is stated to be his normal Super Saiyan form. As in, this isn't a Super Saiyan Blue or God transformation. He's just Super Saiyan. With God Ki. It's just, he still has his God Ki from being Zamasu, of course, but he states that this is just his equivalent of Super Saiyan. Not his equivalent of Super Saiyan God, not his equivalent of Super Saiyan Blue, but his equivalent of Super Saiyan, which means he could potentially go Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4. He could ascend to them through this state, at least in the anime. And that's horrifying, because this is never clarified or brought up again, and we're just left with that one statement of him saying this is his equivalent of Super Saiyan. And it becomes even more terrifying because he then ascends the freaking form, further asserting that that statement is fact and true, and he also gains a scythe, just to further assert that he's the Angel of Death and all bad things. The Grim Reaper himself, incarnate, dear God. So anyway, next up, of course, we have the Ultra Instinct form, which is, mentioned by Whis several times throughout the series, but the first time we actually see this form in action on Goku is in the Tournament of Power, when he's fighting Jiren and a Spirit Bomb is flicked back at him. Thus, after absorbing the energy from the blast, Goku then achieves this form. It breaks him through his shell, and mastered Ultra Instinct is just him later learning how to obtain the full power of this form. Not him mastering it in the sense that he can turn it on and off, that would be perfecting it, but mastering in the sense that he knows how to use it to its full potential. They're both very powerful forms, although I will say that Mastered Ultra Instinct seems to be the much stronger form. However, the stamina drain from it is terrible. Goku's body was nearly not inoperable, but well, yeah, I guess the word would be inoperable. Meaning he couldn't move. He couldn't do anything for a while. He was down for the count. KO. But yeah, those are all of the transformations of Goku that I could find. If there are any new ones that come out, or if there are any that I missed, let me know in the comments down below. And of course, in the future, if more transformations come out, I'll make a part 2, because I love Dragon Ball What Ifs. I love talking about Dragon Ball. I love all of the little unique transformations, and I love how, you have to switch between them because one's better than another at this thing, and it's cool. The whole concept of transformations to me is awesome, and I love it, and it's part of the reason I love anime so much, because transformations are dope. But in all seriousness, this was really hard to make. It took me about 4 weeks of researching and editing, and even just recording these voice lines took me, an hour or so, just with editing and re-recording voice lines because the audio wasn't satisfying or whatever had happened. But ultimately, I like this video. I like how it came out. I think it's really good. I wouldn't be releasing it if I didn't, because I don't release videos like this that are lists unless I feel like they're perfect. And the person who inspired me to make this was Ssj4 Tarfful. Link in the description down below to his take on this video. Please subscribe to him, although I feel that he did a good job. I just felt that I could do better. And I feel that everyone else on YouTube did a absolutely miserable job of this. Like, terrible. Like, didn't even try. Didn't even attempt to try. But so, yeah, I did a ton of research, put a ton of effort into this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, let me know which transformation of Goku's is your favorite in the comments down below. Mine's probably Super Saiyan 4 Kaio-ken, because I love Super Saiyan 4 and I love Kaio-ken, and if you put them together, oh my, oof, it's so red! But, yeah, I enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy this video as well. And if there are any transformations in this video you learned about that, you didn't know about before, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know what your favorite Super Saiyan transformation is in this video, or if I missed one, tell me, and, in the comments down below. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications for more videos like this one, and share this video with your friends who don't know any of these transformations, because I'm sure if they're Dragon Ball fans, they'll think it's awesome and they'll love you forever. So, thank you all so much for watching. My name is OrangeBucketPlays/VA, and as always, I will see you in the next video. At ease, my own troopers, and peace. Now I'm gonna go try to take a nap, and hopefully I don't have god-awful nightmares about Goku Black, because I'm terrified of him now. The research for this episode has made me terrified of Goku Black. I feel he's going to do horrible, god-awful things to me in my sleep, and I'm scared.